bonus video for you guys because this Sunday's National Tight Ends Day. We are going to do a top 10 tight ends video.
Woohoo!
Glory be to Jesus Christ.
Glory forever. Welcome to Dynamite Duo Sports, the podcast where we break down the NFL's top storylines with the facts, including the fact that the tight end position is the most underappreciated position on the offensive side of the football. I'm Giuseppe.
I'm Antonios.
And today, Tony is going to be giving you his bonus top 10 tight ends in the NFL. Is it currently, or is it taking, how much is, what's your criteria?
My criteria is going to be for this video currently and sort of looking into the future, but most of it is credit for what they've done so far this season. Actually, yeah, overall, this is basically what's right now. Maybe towards the end of the season, we'll have, we'll do it again. So, at the end of the season, we'll have our official who are top tight ends, or who knows, maybe after the season, we can even have a whole top 10 for every position. That'd be cool. Let us know in the comments if you'd like that. Sure. But yes, this top 10 is going to be what's right now. And so with that being said, we're going to jump right into it. My two honorable mentions are two tight ends who have been injured, but are definitely top 10 tight ends, and that is Brock Bowers and George Kittle. So both these tight ends are easily top 10, no, without question. Top 5, realistically. But they've been hurt this season so far, so I can't technically put them in the top 10. But they, if we do this again, it'll very easily be in there. So hopefully Brock Bowers can stay healthy, George Kittle as well. But for now, you're both honorable mentions. Now we're going to get into the actual top 10. And first up, at number 10, you got Zach Ertz. Okay. Zach Ertz is playing very, clean, consistent football. He's that kind of tight end where you need the 5 yards. He's going to give for you. First, third and goal, he's going to get that touchdown for you. He's playing what the tight end position is supposed to be. He's like a big guy, gets those little short passes. He can still take the hits. He's still got good hands. But he's nothing special. He's just being what a tight end's supposed to be. So with that being said, you deserve top 10. That's why you're number 10. Number 9, you have Hunter Henry. So Hunter Henry's kind of an underrated tight end right now because when I was watching one game with the Patriots, I realized that he's actually made a lot of critical plays for Drake May, especially in the center of the field, and he still is a pretty good tight end at blocking. So he's the reason why he's at number 9, not any higher, is because he's nothing special, but he's very underrated. So I want to give him the appreciation he deserves. So with that being said, you are number 9. Number 8, and if it wasn't for the refs, you would not even be in here. You have Travis Kelce. Now, he's better than he was last year.
Yeah, definitely.
He's definitely better. There was one game where he had a ton of yards, but a good chunk of that was from a catch that wasn't actually a catch when you think about it. And even he kind of admitted that sort of in his video, or he wasn't sure if he did or didn't, or what they would call it.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, he's just like the other tight ends in the top 10 so far. Nothing flashy, just consistent. And honestly, it's just bad defensive coverage on it right now. And that's the only reason I feel like he is getting a lot of yards. But he is putting up the numbers, and so he deserves top 10, just not any higher than number 8. Number 7, you have Cabe Otten. So Cabe Otten he is good at catching the ball. He has stepped up a lot with all the wide receivers being hurt, especially against the Lions, even though at the end of the day they didn't do much. He did make a lot of the catches himself on critical plays where they need the first down. At the end, it didn't really matter, but he has definitely stepped up and shown that he's much better than the Madden ratings give him. I'll say that. He's good at blocking. He's good at catching. He actually is really good at catching the ball, actually. People don't understand the kind of catches he actually makes. So he has that little edge over the rest of the tight ends because he's doing what a tight end should, but he's also making catches that are more impressive than the rest so far. So with that being said, you are number 7. Number 6. We are getting to the last part of the second half of the top 10, and that is Sam Laporta. So he's had really good games, and he's had mid games. But the difference about him is the talent that he does have as a tight end. And the talent he has is better than any other tight ends in the top 10 so far. Yes, he has had games where he only got 3 targets, but that's only because he's not getting enough targets. But when he is targeted by Jared Goff, he makes impressive catches. He's good at blocking too as a tight end, and he's really good at running the ball too. Running the routes. He's really good at take in the center field. If he's open, he's going to get a huge chunk after catching the ball. So he's the most talented out of the rest of the tight ends in top 10 so far, and that is why he is number 6. Number 5, you have Dallas Goedert. So Dallas Goedert has either been consistent or on another level. And when I say consistent, I mean the other tight ends in the bottom half. He's that same consistency, but you add on top of being just good and then great. So he's good in games, then he's great in games. He's had maybe one bad game this year, but again, another important thing people need to understand about tight ends is they're blocking too. Dallas Goedert is pretty good at blocking, but he's also very talented at catching the ball, very similar to Samuel Laporta. The only difference is that the Eagles are using him more than Sam Laporta, and that's why he is at number 5.
Probably make A.J. Brown happier if they didn't.
Yeah. Number 4, you have Tucker Kraft. He looks like George Kittle, and that means he's going to be a really good tight end because he's good at blocking, he's good at catching. He's made some of the most impressive catches by any tight end this season so far. He's had plays where he catches it midfield and runs the rest of the 50 yards for a touchdown. So he's playing at a whole nother level this year. And if he's basically, like I said, George Kittle, except he's been healthy this year, which is why George Kittle's an honorable mentions. But he has stepped up for the Packers a lot. And now not only do they have a bunch of B average wide receivers, they have an A plus tight end. And that's very important for the Packers if they ever want to be
with their offense.
No, but he still if you've watched him in every game, he's been very impressive, whether they don't score a lot or whether they score a lot or not. So with that being said, Tucker Kraft, you are number 4. Who knows? You will probably move up and be easily a top 3 tight end by the end of the season. Now we are getting to the top 3. And at number 3, you have Trey McBride. So Trey McBride is an excellent tight end, no doubt about it. He has the most receiving yards by tight end this year, or he's one of them. And the only reason why he's not higher than top 3 is because he's the only person that's getting targeted or catches on the Cardinals offense. So
what happened to Marvin Harrison Jr. being this all prolific wide receiver from Ohio State?
Yeah, he's not at Buka's better than him.
Biggest bust.
Yeah, it's a very big bust, which is sad for the Cardinals. But Trey McBride has definitely stepped up. He is easily a top 3 tight end right now. I feel bad for him for being on the Cardinals. If he was on any other team with let's just say Giants who could use a tight end, I think he'd be used much more critically with Jackson Dart. So with that being said, you're top 3, and I'm just sorry you're on the Cardinals. Number 2, you have Jake Ferguson. Now, Jake Ferguson has really stepped up this year from compared to other years. He's always been a good tight end, very underrated. Nobody really talked about him.
Yeah.
And he is a good, I've always said, he's a good tight end. He's because
he honestly reminds me a little bit.
He's not like Jason Witten.
No, not Jason Witten.
Okay, I was about to say.
Travis Kelce-ish. Because of the way he's more of a route
that's better.
tight end.
Yes, because I'm about to say, he and Jason Witten are very different tight ends.
Yeah.
But he has been stepping up, and he's been doing really well. He has the most receptions by a tight end.
In the first 6-7 weeks in NFL history, he's the only tight end to have 50-plus receptions and 6 touchdowns.
Yes, and but at the end of the day, I think it's also they've played some really sloppy defenses when they played. But again, if you're getting open, you're getting catches. That's what matters. So at the end of the day, you've been playing really well, and that's why you get number 2. And at number 1, the reason why he's up there, because he's probably one of the most valuable players on this offense, is Tyler Warren. And I was surprised when I decided to put him at number 1 because he has I think he has one of the most yards by a tight end this year. And if it wasn't for him, I don't think Daniel Jones would look as good as he is this year because he's such a dangerous weapon on the Colts because he can catch really well. He makes huge plays like Tucker Kraft, but on top of that, he can block really well for someone his size. I feel like he's shorter, but I've seen him block, and it's dang, like that is like impressive. He's like
And also on top of
he's
that,
kind of like a Jason Wynn, honestly.
they,
When I watched him,
sure,
very
but
similar.
the other thing though is they haven't even tapped into his full potential because when he was
Exactly.
at Penn State, he was basically kind of like a Taysom Hill for them.
Yeah, and he can do a lot of different things, but ultimately he is like an amazing tight end. And that the the way they use him on their offense, if they didn't have Tyler Warren, their offense would not look the same this year. And I can very strongly bet on that. That if Tyler Warren, they did not draft Tyler Warren, they would not look as good as they are this year.
And they're very lucky that they got him
They're
because he
very lucky.
slid.
Yes, he did slide.
So
And when I found out he slid, I'm like, the Colts could use someone like him. They draft him like that's a good move. And you can definitely tell this season the reason why. So the reason why I put him at number one over Jake Ferguson, who technically has like the more catches and touchdowns, is because of the value he is to the Colts versus the value Jake Ferguson is to the Cowboys. He just has
because basically
you have George Pickens and like CeeDee Lamb.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's like that's the only reason why he gets that slight edge. But though if you swapped him either way, it wouldn't matter. But for me, Tyler Warren, number one, as a rookie, you are probably having one of the most impressive rookie tight end seasons I've ever seen. All right, so that's my top 10 tight ends. We have Tyler Warren, Jake Ferguson, Trey McBride, Tucker Kraft, Dallas Goedert, Sam Laporta. You have Cade Otton, Travis Kelce, Hunter Henry, Zach Ertz, George Kittle, and Brock Bowers. Giuseppe, what do you think? Are there tight ends that you thought I should have put in? I do see you saw Dalton Kincaid, and he only had one game against the Patriots. It's the only reason why I didn't put him in.
Well, I think that we saw the value of Dalton Kincaid when the Bills played the Falcons because he did not play in that game. And their offense looked, as I said yesterday when I was not, going cuckoo garbage. So I believe that Dalton Kincaid just elevates that offense as in very valuable stuff. It's kind of similar to what you're saying about Tyler Warren and stuff. Now, like, me personally as a Cowboys fan, I put Jake Ferguson number one. I have no issue with you thinking Tyler Warren's the best tight end, just based on the blocking and the fact that he's really
he's versatile.
Diverse. Very diverse tight end.
Right.
Yeah. Versatile is a better word, actually.
Yeah.
So we had the same top five, basically, just in a different order. I'm not going to argue about the order.
Yeah, because that was me. The top five tight ends were like easy to how I ranked them, and then the rest was more of just like it's like kind of a little more harder, or which tight ends to keep in. Because I was thinking about actually keeping George Kittle out, only because he hasn't played at all, but because he's technically arguably the best tight end right now.
He's the reason that tight end day exists anyway. So.
Right, so I had to put him in. I can't disrespect George Kittle.
Yeah.
If he was healthy this entire season, he probably would be top five. Like Goddard would have been out of the top five, and he probably would have been in there. Brock Bowers too has been hurt a lot, but at the same time, I have to keep them both honorable mentions because they're both like last year. They were both the two best tight ends. Trey McBride was like a close third.
Right, well, so I'm gonna make a little petition here.
Okay,
you're gonna be surprised.
Okay.
I put Zach Ertz at 6 because I think that he is somehow he's the only healthy offensive player on
receiving court. Yeah,
for them, and I know that he can't do it alone, but I've just been seeing the way he's been playing this year, and he's been pretty good.
He's been trying really hard.
He's been really good.
Yeah, I mean, I think he has been doing a lot for them, but at the same time,
I just think that he should be. I didn't include Cade Otton in mine just because when I think of the Buccaneers, I don't really think of Cade Otton that much because I think of Emeka Egbuka.
Well, that's why I put him in.
Else.
Okay, like that's why I put him in though, because no one talks about him, but people don't understand how good of a tight end he is because he's also his size works for blocking. He does block a lot too. Because a lot of people focus too much on just the receiving for tight ends. We also put in the factor of their blocking skills because that's also another important job at tight end. And Cade Otton does that very well, and he doesn't get credit for it. So that's why I put him at number 7 because at the skill of blocking, he definitely is a top 10 tight end. That's why I put him in. Okay. But if people want to put him out, because if we're just talking about passing wise, yeah, I would change a lot of things around. If it came just to the receiving skill of the tight ends.
Yep. And then one other petition, like let's just say that we took the honorable mentions out, right?
Like the injured tight ends.
Yeah. Like injured tight ends. Or let's say we kept one, like say we kept George Kittle.
And
Just for the sake of
tight
it.
end day, yeah.
For my last honorable mention, I just put down all the Steelers tight ends.
See, okay, that's the funny thing is I was actually thinking about doing that instead of Brock Bowers, but then I stopped and I was like, that's a little too much. But at the same time, it does make sense. Because
they're a complete package.
They're
like,
complete
Darnell
package.
Washington is the red zone threat. Then you got what's his name, Jonnu Smith, who's the specialist basically for them, and then you have Pat Fryermuth, who's their
route runner,
consistent tight end.
So, yeah. I mean, I was thinking about that because I thought
it's like if you took all of them and put them together into one tight end. Yeah, that is your prototypical best tight end in the league.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, I just wanted to give the shout out to Brock Bowers only because he's on the Raiders, and I just want to give him a shout out because he's hurt. He's trying,
and he suffered enough.
Yes, he suffered enough. That's why
both from injury and from just being on the Raiders.
Yeah, so like if you want to take him out, that's fine. I just wanted to give him the respect that he deserves.
Oh, no, I respect him a lot.
Oh, I know.
I'm going to
I
start two tight ends at fantasy soon.
Yeah. Another thing I want to give a shout out to is we're recording this around the Chargers-Vikings game. Shout out to their tight end. Something the third. Gladstone the third, something like that.
I don't know.
He is a good tight end who, if we do this again, could very well easily be in the top 10 as well.
Yeah, I don't know. That might be a one-time thing. We'll see, but
yeah. So now that we have finished talking about the tight ends, how would you rank it?
Well, since I basically have the same tight ends as you, and they're all just in different order for some of them, it's an A.
Okay.
Yeah,
cool.
It's an A. It's an A. They're all legitimate contenders. So
it's all about personal reasons why
personal preference.
Preferences. Yeah.
So me personally, I'm a Cowboys fan. I put Jake Ferguson number 1.
Respect.
So
respect.
Yeah. So yeah, we finally fully agreed on something.
We respect our choices with this one.
Anyway, let us know what you think down in the comments below. Are there any tight ends that you would put into the top 10 tight ends or in honorable mentions or in +4? Let me know. Or let us know. Good grief. Be sure to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and X. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Giuseppe.
I'm Antonios.
And this has been Dynamite Duo Sports.
Oh no, I don't have my pen. Well, you throw it. I'll catch it.
See ya.
I dropped it. Work it harder, make it better, tune up faster, makes us stronger, ever after. Work it. All right. Cool.